Hey, Tracy. He loves the brush. They got these things that are sort of like the little wire brushes that you can put like on the corners of wall joints and stuff like that that allow your cat to brush up against it. I resist doing that with this guy because this guy loves this thing so much. He'd scratch his face bloody. I'm sure of it. I'm doing well. I'm going into my long weekend now, so I got 4 days off. Good morning, Bob. Welcome to the party. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's been a while, Kathy. How's the garden going? That tomato I showed you in my garden? Yeah, I harvested that last night. It was delicious. Yummy, yummy. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Darth. How's everyone doing today? White's enjoying the brush. He's easily amused. And puts his paw up there to steady my arm and said, "Don't move it, just leave it there. I'll do it. I got this. I don't need you." Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? That's this one right here. I'm not usually into the ones that are polished like this. I like it more rough, but I don't know. It was kind of cool on the inside there. It's got those cool little caverns, very sparkly. But you can see kind of the reflection of the window and the smooth stuff over here, which it kind of I think it ruins it a little bit. I like it when it's rough, but I still like that piece. And this is a piece that they got for me specifically, thinking that knowing that I would want that. So that's a good one. That is a, let's see, I'm still good. Okay, it's a straight pink amethyst. I haven't learned some of the names yet, especially the new acquisitions. No, they call it a pink amethyst. It's very similar to quartz. Another look at it here. That's on the back side. This is the side that kind of has the big opening. It's a kind of a cool looking piece. And I can see all the way through it. So I don't know. I think it'll be a keeper. Yes, since I lost Bite's attention here, I should turn the camera more towards me, huh? Who wants to sit and have an interview with a ghost sitting next to me? Yeah, I kind of liked it, Tracy. The people over at Gallery 11, they're getting to the point where they really have a good handle on what I like. And so, I'm getting like messages from them from time to time. They'll send me photos. You like this? You like that? You like the other thing? No, it's an amethyst. Yeah, it will fit into the display, but you're right. I'm already running into a space issue with that. Somebody actually suggested something. I think in the comments of one of the assembly videos that I don't really use that desk anymore. I built that desk, probably 10 or 15 years ago when I was going back to school. I knew I wasn't going anywhere with Disney, and I had to start thinking about, what could I do? And so I decided to go back to school, and I realized I didn't have a desk. So I built a desk, and that's it. And basically, I stopped going to school after a while because I realized it was going to take me longer to get the degree I was shooting for than it was going to be before I was ready to retire. So, and at that point, I was already thinking about leaving. But I did all my homework on that desk for a few years, and now it's just kind of a place where I stash things. And somebody suggested that that could easily be retrofitted into more mineral display case. And I am actually really seriously thinking about do that. That's a really good idea. So that will probably be a future project. And the beauty is I can do both the upper level and the lower level. Sorry, I'm backward on power. I could never be one of those weather people on TV pointing at the CGI map because I get all twisted around. But that lower level there where you put your feet, I could put two shelves in there too, and that would significantly increase the display area. And I've already got electricity in that thing, so it'd be very easy to wire it up. So I don't know. That may very well happen at some point. Right now, all the rocks are in the display case. I'm kind of packing stuff together closer and closer. And the truth is, there's a few pieces out there in there that are large enough that they could be like put on top of the table, and that would get me a lot more space. Right now, everything, even the big pieces, is in the cabinet, with the exception of that big amethyst I got there on the floor. But see that's one of those conversational pieces I have several of them that could go up on top of the table. And it's like whoa. And then you bring a big piece out of the case that opens up a lot of room for little pieces. So no, I don't have a rock tumbler. I like rocks in their unpolished state. Most of the stuff that I get is something that's the way it came out of the ground. Yeah, it's been sunny now for I don't know since probably Tuesday. We had some rain come in on Tuesday. We got half or three quarters of an inch, something like that. It was a nice rain over like a nice gentle rain over like a several hour period. So it didn't all run off. It all kind of got soaked in, and so that was the best kind of rain. Yeah, John, I did. I have rocks that I collected when I was a kid. In fact, there were some rocks that I collected as a kid that were in my yard in California, and I just didn't have room to take them. Yeah, Flash is fine. Yeah, the fortunately she, like I said, she ended up on her back twice, and both times, I was there fast enough to correct her. And like I said, she wasn't in a dangerous spot, but that's not a good thing for her to be ending up on her back because she's completely helpless at that point. And I said it's just better just to prevent it from happening. But yeah, she's fine, and there haven't been any incidents since then. Yeah, I try and do the same thing, Kathy. I like perennials. I like them coming back every year. You get a lot of what the challenge on this yard is finding things that can deal with the extremes of weather that we get, the real heat, and sometimes a lot of rain in the summer, and really a lot of cold and even freezing and snow in the winter. We got to find stuff that bounces back year after year. So that's a struggle here. I'm always looking for something. It's like, okay, what does okay, I can live with the fact it dies off in the winter. What happens back in summer? Does it live? And see, I'm not even one for trimming things for the most part. I like things to kind of have going in kind of a wild, um, in kind of a wild state. Make it look like the house is a little bit nature, a little bit man-made. In fact, there's one section I've been thinking about this for, I don't know, maybe a year or two now. There's one section in my front yard that's completely without trees. Half of my yard has three large pecan trees, and the other half of the front yard had another pecan tree at some point in the past, but it died and they cut it down, and the stump's still in the ground. I know where it is because occasionally as the stump is rotting, there's little holes that are coming up in the yard. But that whole area is exposed to the sun good 6, 8, 12 hours a day. And I've been sort of thinking about ripping the lawn out of there and putting something more uh, water resistant, something that's going to do well in the hot summer in Texas, something that's maybe established, will look nice, do some flowering or something like that. And we'll see. I don't know. That's a big project, and it's not something I said, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to do this. It's just something I'm thinking about, but I think it would be cool. Yeah, I don't let mine get too overgrown because I do have to have a certain amount of control. But all of the pecans are extra, and the squirrels get them. I like the squirrels. I don't have the interest in going out there and harvesting pecans off the trees, so the squirrels get them. Yeah, we're supposed to be about 93 here. Yeah, I got that Texas bird bath. Right after I moved into the house, like within a year. There's that statuary place in what Bruceville, Eddy, which is like 10 miles south of here, and they got a lot. They got like probably a 2 acre lot with just rows and rows and rows of all sorts of stuff. I took you there once on a vlog. You know, in the television world, this is called dead air. I might have a burger for dinner tonight. I don't know. There've been a couple times in the past 2 weeks I put a hamburger out for dinner and then ended up being in the mood for something else when dinner time finally came along. Ended up putting it back in the freezer. So maybe I got to deal with that. Have a hamburger for dinner. Pizza vlog. Yeah, I always love pizza. Can't go wrong with tacos either. Anything Mexican food, really. I've done a little bit of smoking on my smoker, but you're right. It would be hard with brisket, and it wouldn't be able to time lapse it because in order to do that, I'd have to put. In order for the smoker to work, the lid has to be closed. So it's not like I can leave the lid open and put a camera next to it. I have to put the camera in the grill itself, figure out how to light it in there, and then hope the camera can hold up to 100 or 250 degrees Fahrenheit, which I know it can't. So no, that's not really an option. Work is good. Work is good. I'm gonna be the only one there all next week. The other leads taking the week off, so it's gonna be an interesting week coming up. But I got 4 days to recover and get ready for it. So steak and baked potato, you can't go wrong with that. Good morning, Gene. I am doing well. As you can see, we got about 15 side conversations going on here. I'm not really having to do a whole lot today. I can just sit here and read. There we go. Yeah, I'll be the ref. Bite and Nibble are good. Bite was out here a little bit at the beginning of the live stream. Nibble rarely makes very many appearances anymore, but you know, she sends her love. And Flash, I haven't seen Flash in a couple of days, but that's not uncommon. I'm at work during the day, and she's out during the day, and then she's hiding somewhere, and I could go out and look for her and get eaten alive by the mosquitoes out there, or I can just assume, she knows her way. She found someplace to sleep, and she's okay. No, not really planning that much for the fourth at this point. It looks like I'm going to have the day off at work, which is actually a little disappointed because I like those days where I get to you know get to work on holidays like that because I get like triple pay. I clean up on days like that, and the paychecks following that are noticeably larger. Haven't really decided with the pool. I'm kind of slowly dismantling the part that's going to have to be taken apart anyway. The liner, once I got the water out of it, the liner began to crack, and all it was doing was holding the water when it rained. And then we had mosquitoes in there. So I want to take it out of there so any water that ends up in there soaks into the ground. But right now, I got to get the water that's in there out of there. And that takes a little time. Yeah, I enjoyed the birthday with my just by spending the day not having to think about anybody. Just do what I want. I don't think I even left the house. Yeah, well, the previous check that I got was a triple payday because for some reason it was Memorial Day, and for whatever reason, the company decided to give people both Friday and Monday off. So if you're scheduled to work that day, that one of those days, and you're not office staff and have to be there, you get triple pay for 8 hours of the 12-hour day. And then on Monday, when the holiday was, even though I wasn't scheduled to work, I got 8 hours of regular pay on that day for doing nothing. So, like I said, the triple pay combined with a double holiday like that, it's massive. And I get a fair amount of overtime as it is. So, because unlike the troops, well, I don't get to go home until the work's done. Yeah, I'd still love to get a really nice telescope, but I got to do a lot of research and figure out how to do it, get it right. I've been looking at that one, that Celestron. I think I've shown you that in the past. That it's a telescope without an eyepiece. It's basically a telescope camera, and so it's got a really high resolution digital imager on it. And then what you can do is take pictures of things. So you could, rather than looking at it directly, you could take a photo of it and get a really high resolution photo of it. And I've been watching that. That's pretty cool. Uh, that isn't out yet, but I can do cutaways. Let's go look at this thing here. Hold on a second. Celestron. That one. Let's see. I got to get the right page here. This thing. Okay, let's cut away to this here. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is, oh, come on, get the ads out of the way, people. This is the thing I've been kind of looking at here. That's the telescope right there. Notice it doesn't have an eyepiece. And basically what it does, it just Bluetooths to it shoots a digital image on board, and then Okay, get out of the way. Take up half the screen with a disclaimer here. Give me a break. And then basically it Bluetooth the image to your cell phone. Those are supposed to be. I don't know. I've read a few things about them. It's a curious concept, but they show some of the stuff that they've been able to photograph with it. And I don't know. I could definitely enjoy something like that. That's a Horsehead Nebula. So I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about. It isn't even available yet. It's for pre-order. So and they want $4,000 for it. But I don't know. I think that would still be pretty cool. I wish I could find one that I could actually shoot live video on and could live stream some of that. But oh well, I got my limits. I suppose there's technology that can do that, but I don't have that. You probably can't afford that. Well, I have been thinking if I pull out the pool, I'm going to put fruit trees in that area. I think there's room that I could put 4 decent-sized fruit trees in there. Different things, things that I love because I love peaches, I love apples, oranges, maybe, you know. And I know if I had too many of them, I could bring it to work and find friends at work who take them. People do that all the time. I have also sort of been thinking about taking the area that's currently the garden and turning it into a green room or a greenhouse because I could still grow all my fruits and or all my veggies and stuff like that in there in a greenhouse, and it would maybe make it capable, make it so I could protect my plants even in the winter. Well, I mean, I like the pool, but like I said, I'm waiting to see. I haven't made a decision one way or another about the pool, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to wait 1 year now and see what I think about not having it during the summer if I really miss it. Because I've never really found a way, short of draining it every year, to keep the liner, keep the pool clean. Because everything I've tried hasn't worked. I have thought about building a deck out there, around the pool, and that might happen at some point. I really still, at this point, the question is whether to keep or get rid of the pool, and haven't really decided yet. I could see advantages to both sides. What I do think I'm going to do, if I elect to go to remove the pool and put the trees in there, is that what I'll probably do is kind of surround the entire perimeter of what was the pool area with those paving, with those bricks like I used to build up the wall in the back there to protect Flash in that last video. Use a whole bunch of those and make it like 3 or 4 levels deep, and then put really high quality soil in there, and do it that way. Build it up that way, and then put the trees in that. Get some really good quality soil because that's one of the things you kind of have to deal with here in Texas is the soil isn't always the best quality. You got a few inches of quality topsoil, and then you get down and start being limestone, and You know, you need to be able to be above that to give a tree a chance to start. Yeah, I don't know. One of the advantages, I mean, if it was just a matter of having something to soak in, you know, I could go. There's a kind of an outdoorsy place, you know, just outside of Waco that I visit from time to time, and they got these inflatable kind of pools that you just sit in, and you know, if it was just a matter of having something like that, I'd get that. But one of the things I like is being able to swim underwater. Unless you get a pool that's at least the size of what I have, you know, that's hard to do. And you're right, it might actually be an option to enclose the pool, like build some sort of a cover over the top of it. That would definitely keep a lot of the gunk out of it. That's something I hadn't thought of. Never know. You might just inspire the next great idea. The idea of cover, not necessarily enclosing, but just putting like a clear plexiglass patio cover over the top of it. You get the sun and all that coming through, but all the leaf waste and all that junk lands on top of it and blows away. You just leave that up year round. That is not a bad idea. Bearcat, you may have just changed the direction of this article of this question because I hadn't thought of that. That was always the big problem is you know, figuring out how it is that I can protect the thing, you know, from keep all the stuff from the nearby tree from coming into it. Well, that is one of the things, Lindex, I did like about having a pool was it was just nice sometime on a day off, you know, just to go out, sit in the pool and drink a couple beers. It was just, you know, it just doesn't get any better than that. Well, that's it, John. You know, that's the big part of it is you know all the stuff that comes out of the trees because I got that big massive tree right next to it. You know, it isn't the occasional flower blooms that blow over the fence and into the pool from the neighbor's tree that's the problem. It's the tons and tons of leaves that are falling out of the tree that's right above it. Every time the wind blows, stuff's popping in there. Last year was a very prolific year for that thing to produce acorns. So there were thousands and thousands of acorns dropping into that thing. Literally, I mean, I had buckets full of them. I was pulling out of that thing, and that's what keeps eating up the pool vacuum. Well, like I said, a portable tub, yeah, I could see that too. But like I said, that hardware or that outdoor kind of place. I don't remember what it's called. What's it called? It's a chain. I've seen them around. Give me a second, I'll find it. Gotta get my bearings here. Atwoods, that's what it's called. I was at Atwoods a couple weeks ago, maybe just last weekend, and kind of wandering through the place. And they had a bunch of different, basically set up tear down kind of pools. Some of them that were actually like 15 feet in diameter, but they had just some little ones that would be something just an individual could sit down in, and that would be an option. Could keep that under the patio cover, or even build a cover for it. Well, I mean, if I were to build some sort of a um, enclosure for the thing, you know, it wouldn't be hard to modify it at a later date for to put walls on it or something. But that's almost sounding like another house, Bearcat. Transforming this into an indoor pool. Capture all the rain that fell onto it, returned into more yard water. Water. A couple of storm barrels out there, capture the rain. That'd be awesome. But if Bearcat's idea comes to fruition, that would solve that, because that would take care of 99.9% of the problem with the trees and dropping leaves into the pool. Just got to figure out how to design it. Any travel plans? Funny you mentioned that. Even my boss was saying this past week that I probably need to go take a vacation. Just so he just says everybody just needs a little time away, and he's right. And I have some coming up, and the other lead is going to be out this week at work, So if she can do it and the place survives, they'll survive without me. If we came back. Hey Jeff, how you doing, buddy? Well, I've thought about that too, Connie. I was thinking it wouldn't be really that hard to do. Just got to figure out a way to pump the water up to the roof, let the roof the sun bake down on it, while it goes through all the plumbing to heat it up. And I could even go out right there on the roof of the pool itself. It wouldn't take a lot of work to get. It wouldn't take much of a pump to do it once you get the water in the system. Now we got our own hot here, Jeff. No, that's the thing, Lendex, is you get a if you don't use your vacation by the end of the day, they give by the end of the year, they give you a lump sum payout at the end of the year and they pay you off. So you can't hold it year to year. Not necessarily a fan of that, but that's the policy. For a while there, you could. The first couple of years, you could hold it for several years. And so in the first couple of years, I took very little vacation early on, and ended up accruing quite a bit, and then I finally got paid out for it. But now at the end of the year, every year they just pay you for what you don't use. And I do kind of think it would be fun to go someplace and do some things, and finally actually into a financial situation where I can think about doing that. I think the reason it hasn't happened so far is I'm just out of the habit of it. No, it's just I think it's my boss realizes that I've worked hard and put in a lot of time in this place and done a lot of good for the company, and he thinks I need a little time off. He thinks I deserve a little time off. Yeah, first place I want to go. I've said this many times. I want to go to Yellowstone. I want to vlog that place. I want to vlog the heck out of that place. Went there when I was a kid, and I really didn't appreciate it from a geological standpoint. It was a very beautiful place. There's a lot of interesting things, but I didn't appreciate it from a geological standpoint the way I appreciate it now. And I can't wait now to go and talk about that place. No, I want to, like I said, I'm going to probably go and I want to stay in the park. It'll be more expensive, but I think it'll give me more time in the park. And then, I'm going to drive there in a couple days and drive back in a couple days. But, if I take a 3 day, one of my short weeks off, one of my 3 day weeks off, I use 36 hours of vacation time and I get um, 10 days. So, that's a good choice. I've thought about camping too. Maybe we'll do both. Maybe because you can do both, and maybe it'd be fun to stay at a hotel a few nights and camp a few nights. There's nothing that says you couldn't do that. And if the weather's nice, that's the thing. Uh, Yellowstone is pretty far north, and so you get too much into the winter here, even the fall. It's going to start getting cold at night. It would be a great series of vlogs because we talk about why it's such a special place, and we hike to different hot springs and geysers and stuff like that. I'd show you things that most people don't see. Yeah, if I took a short week and a long week off, then let's see, what would it be? It would be 3, 6, 10, 14, 17 days. That's 2.5 weeks. Ghost Town, that'd be kind of fun too. But like I said, Yellowstone, that's the place I've wanted to go for a long time. I'm also kind of thinking about doing a vlog on the cicada emergence. It's supposed to happen this summer. They're saying this is going to be a very loud summer because there's two different broods of cicada. They're going to be emerging and taking to the trees. And I've always kind of been interested in the cicadas, learning about them when I first kind of encountered them here. And they have kind of an interesting life story. That would be fun too, rock climbing. I took a rock climbing course at Yosemite long, long, long time ago, and that was kind of fun. And I mean, there's history with me, and there's a kind of a familial history with me, and rock climbing because my cousin, second cousin, third cousin, something like that, uh, named Galen Rowell, was a famous nature photographer who did a lot of documentation of Yosemite. He used to climb there all the time, and after Ansel Adams, he's the number one most popular photographer in Yosemite, and he was an avid rock climber. He'd climbed Half Dome and El Capitan. He'd climbed the top of Everest and K2 and all that. He loved doing that and taking photos up there. And so there is sort of a tie there for that rock climbing. Yeah, yeah, I can imagine, Michael. I mean, I'll admit I wouldn't have a problem even being, camping out if it was raining because my tent's waterproof. Be a very peaceful night. Yeah, bike came back, wants a little attention here. Not a lot, but I've camped a few times. I love doing it. It's just, it's more fun to do it with friends, and there's not really a lot of people around here that like to go camping. Matt, well, when I lived in California and Matt lived in California, he loved going camping, and and a few of others would enjoy doing that. And so we go from time to time, and you know, always enjoyed doing that. And I do have everything I need. I got the sleeping bag, I got the tent, I've got the lantern, I've got everything I need. Even have an easy up now. Yeah, I was an Eagle Scout. Did a lot of camping then too. Exactly. Yeah, it's in my genes, Connie. Toasted marshmallows. Oh yeah, you don't get much better than that. Pizza. I think I heard about that, Bearcat. Yeah, because this is going to have to burn through all that coal. That's a trip. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what state's in, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me that could happen. Yeah, I think I saw a documentary about it. I don't go searching around YouTube. It might be something that somebody did and was on TV and ended up on YouTube or something like that, but or maybe just something altogether different. But I think I saw a documentary once on it. Yeah, it might have been the same one. I don't know. Yeah, Bite loves the brush. That is what we call one satisfied cat. You're shedding, dude. Look at all that cat fur. It's probably about 10 hairballs that we've prevented now, isn't it? How many people do you know that can get away with a 10-minute video clip of them brushing their cat during a live stream of all places? I don't know why you even watch. Oops, sorry, bite. Now I gotta make all the fur disappear here because it's all in my eyes. Yep, that's just what we. That's just the desperate direction I'll take to entertain you. A 10-minute clip of me videotaping me brushing my cat. I know, yeah, I know. There's a lot. He sheds a lot of fur. I mean, we're in shedding season anyway. I don't entirely understand how that becomes that much of an issue with indoor cats, but hey, Yvonne. Yeah, we've been going for almost an hour, Yvonne. Yeah, the truth is, Bite only gets brushed when he decides to come out and perform for the live stream. And Nibble, she won't let me get close enough to her to do that. Fortunately, she doesn't seem to shed as much as Bite does. Yeah, I think you usually are. They're usually right at the beginning. Like I said, we've been going almost an hour now, and I started at the same time. Yeah, we're all sort of doing that, Yvonne. Probably lost a few of them, and there's a few of them I'm just not sure where they are right now. Yeah, you're in the twilight zone, I guess. Well, I do what I have to entertain my audience, Connie. It wouldn't surprise me. It always seems that there's so much more hair once I start. Yeah, speaking of rocks, I got some new ones this past week. You saw the cover for the live stream. This is that one. I like that. That's a piece of pink amethyst. This one's highly shaped. I'm not really into it when they when they slice them and polish them, make them all pretty and all that. But I don't know. It's got the kind of the rough component, rough part of it too, where you can see into it. That's pretty cool. And this is one I saw a picture of, and really got interested in. It's not really that impressive from that side, but when you look at it that side, looks like almost like a Coke bottle, doesn't it? That kind of color. But yeah, you can imagine you're walking around, you see a rock like that, you wouldn't even think of it. Then you flip it over, and that's what you see. So that was pretty cool. That was one of those that Kara and Chris at Gallery 11 found at one of their collectors. And they said, "Oh yeah, Breck would probably like that." That was one of the ones they sent me a picture of. And so I said, "Yeah, I'll commit to that one." I like that one. It's a tiny little piece, but it's still pretty cool. And then I got this one. You're not going to really appreciate this one all that much, uh, but that one's really cool. You can see a little bit of like reflecting on it, but when you get the light just right, when you go out in the sun, uh, it reflects different colors as you wave it, as you move it around, manipulate it a little in the sun, because so you get like different, it like reflects like rainbow colors on it. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I picked that up. Nice addition to my collection. I got to get some little things now because I've been buying a lot of big things lately, and big things fill up the cabinet way too fast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I still want to do that Mexican restaurant. That's something I definitely will do at some point. I'm not sure what I'm going to vlog about this week. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to have a cat fur pillow. No, actually, it doesn't. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I do have some fool's gold. Um, but yeah, no, that's actually a black and a white mineral. I don't have a golden nugget. That would actually be a very cool piece. No, I haven't talked to Jordan lately. We kind of just, text back and forth when we get something to say. Is this one a corpse? I mean, quartz? No. What this is called is it's called a rainbow moonstone, and I think they called them, like I said, a rainbow moonstone because it reflects different colors. When you look at the little lattices on the stone, you can see a little bit there. And I'm trying to get it just in the right direction. But you take this thing out in the sun, it kind of it shines like an opal. If you've ever seen an opal, they call it on an opal they call it the fire. Yeah, for the record, Darth, this is my corpse crystal. I got a lot of quartz crystal, but only one corpse crystal, and he lives right there. I'm not aware. I'm not afraid to take things in a weird direction, Yvonne. You should know that by now. Sometimes the autocorrect mistakes are better than the originals. I love sushi, and there is a sushi place downtown I've thought about a couple times. Well, I mean, I sometimes get ideas about things that I'll do, and I shared, the Yellowstone one, and Maybe retrofitting the desk as another mineral display case. I could get a couple of videos out of that. Turns out I still have lumber left over from the other display case that I could use to make this one. So, that was an idea that came from a viewer. Somebody in one of the comments when I was assembling that suggested, using the desk for more mineral display space. Because, I mean, let's face it, you look at that thing's pretty full already. Crazy, huh? I've had supermarket sushi. It's pretty good. They make it right there at HEB, right there in front of you. So, the problem is that just you have to have people that know what they're doing, and they have to make sure that everything that all their ingredients are fresh. You know, you it's actually fairly easy to make sushi. You just have to, um, make sure that that you're taking precautions to uh, make sure that the meat isn't bad because it's raw fish. Now I'd probably just stick with the oak. And like I said, I got one more panel of oak paneling out in the garage that I could easily, I bet, use to make a shelf or two or three or four for that thing. And retrofitting that desk, you know, it's already got electricity in it, and it would hold a lot because it's a lot deeper than the one that I made back there, and it's taller. So there's lots of room. That's actually a really good idea. That's two times now that I've talked about ideas that I've gotten from viewers that might actually turn into something. Bearcat had an idea earlier about like a cover over the pool, something that's clear and plexiglass, so you still get the sun in there and protect it from all the leaf waste. That'd be a big project, but I could do it. Well, if they're giving it away, they want you to like it. They want you to say, "Hey, this is good. I want to get more of this." So the free samples are probably going to be the stuff that's best taken care of. Well, it's not one space, but there isn't much. I filled that thing up pretty quick, and like I said, I could push stuff closer together, and some of the large pieces, those two big large quartz clusters I have, they could be conversation pieces on a table. They don't need to be in the display case. I already have one conversation piece over there on the floor, that amethyst right at the base of the telescope, and I could easily put the other two up on the shelf behind me, and that would buy me a lot of room. No, I don't think I'd want to listen to myself talking about my rock collection, but I could easily go get some more of those strip lights. Hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, who want to? I mean, I wouldn't want to listen. Hey, come look at my rocks. I wouldn't want to listen to that all the time. That's the purpose of the lights. The lights are to say, come look at my rocks. That display case was about $800 just in materials. That doesn't even include time. Now, part of that was me replacing that finishing nailer. Now, I don't think I'd want to hear other people's voices either. It creeped me out in the middle of the night. Hey, come look at my rocks. It's 3 in the morning. That happened with my work radio. I have a work radio uh, that I keep on me when I'm at work, and I bring it home every night during the weekend to recharge it. A few days ago, when I put it on the charger, I forgot to turn it off, and the next morning when I got up, I kept thinking of hearing voices, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it turned out somebody was talking to each other at work, and the radio wasn't turned all the way off, so I was hearing it. I just thought the neighbors next door or something were talking to each other, having a conversation or something. Sometimes you hear that. You had two cats at the same time. I guess you don't have to worry about forgetting their name, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds like a good CB handle. I actually do have a CB radio in storage somewhere, a couple of them actually, because I had a base station radio at one point, and I also had one in the car. Yeah, good advice, Darth. No, well, Rhonda's. I don't know what the story is today. I didn't hear anything about her today. Sometimes she'll come on the Facebook page and say, "I'm not going to be there today. Got to work." I'm guessing that's what's happening. Although it's Father's Day, and I know uh, Father Sear likes like doing racing and stuff like that, and motorcycle races and car races and stuff like that. So they may be off at doing a Father's Day thing. Haven't seen Dr. Susan in a while. No, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Rhonda doesn't check in with me and get permission from me for what she's going to do with their family. But like I said, they love going to the races and stuff like that. And maybe they found something to do with Daddy. Maybe even Jessica's home. Yeah, I feel for all the people who are finding themselves in the same kind of situation we had when with the housing bubble in what was it, 2000 or whenever it was. I'm glad I don't have a mortgage right now, especially one of those variable ones. I think I did hear something about a camera crew. She mentioned that last time she was on. I don't know, in her home, but around her home, I think. Yeah, me too. Hmm, that's funny about on the road again. Oh, they'll come down a little bit for right before the election, and then they'll pop right back up again afterwards. See, I'm missing all that now. I don't even have TV anymore. I haven't had it for several years. I don't even miss it. Ever since I moved to Texas, I had TV on maybe 3 or 4 times in the entire time. And about 2 years ago, I said, "Why am I paying for something I'm not even using?" What ticks me off is when I'll pull up one of my old videos to watch it. It'll start off with an ad by Joe Biden. Here's the deal: we got to protect the world against MAGA Republicans. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to tell you what I did because I didn't do anything, but you hate Trump. Trump, Trump, Trump. Yeah, being mortgage free is awesome. I mean, that's just $2,000 a month I don't have to spend. Unfortunately, I think you're right, Bearcat. Maybe not all, but most. No, because when I do want them, I will go back to them. There's a few things that are on Netflix that I don't have anywhere else, and I am a fan of some of the Star Trek episodes. So I have Paramount Plus, and I get to the point where every once in a while I'll binge watch one of the series. And so rather than having to buy DVDs of all of it, it's all in one place. Right now what I'm doing is watching a lot of just movies in my collection. Debate won't be as good as it could have been though, because it isn't in front of an audience, and it's going to be an unfair fight because Biden will only have to debate Trump, but Trump will have to debate Biden and the moderators. Why would Stormy Daniels go to a red state? Because she knows deep down that red state people aren't angry, hate-filled individuals, the way blue state people can be sometimes. And we'll look past the fact that she tried to take down the president, whereas in a blue state, somebody might go after her because she failed to do so. Well, that was one of my suggestions, Yvonne, is that they ought to put the debate podiums at the top of a staircase. It wouldn't surprise me, Janine. The beauty is, unless they keep juicing him during the entire debate, eventually that'll burn out because they can only keep him hopped up so long. But the further downhill he goes, the harder it's going to be able to make him appear normal. I saw that one, Yvonne. That was funny. Oh, I'm sure Trump will take some. We'll take some swipes at him. But you're right. That's what Trump needs to do. And see, that's why the left is always trying to censor the right because we feel the best way to expose the Democrats for who they are is to let them talk. So we want them to talk, but it's not the same way the other way around. They want to silence us because they know we make a lot of sense. Electric shock. Hook them both up to lie detector tests, and every time they tell a lie, they get a shock. I would love to see the results of that, Janine. Yeah, I went last night on a nighttime walk. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. Was watching a movie, was kind of in the middle of it, and I just said, pause. I'm going for a walk. I don't do it every night, but sometimes it just feels good to get out and walk. And see, that may be the thing that might ultimately bring the pool back into serious consideration again is my nighttime walks, because when it gets really hot in the middle of the summer, it's nice to go out on a walk, go out on a walk, work up a little bit of a sweat, and then come back and cool off in the pool. Keep the ceiling fan a little bit during the live streams to kind of keep the air moving in here. But sometimes it tends to dry out my eyeballs a little bit. It was probably mid 70s last night. So it was a nice night to be out and about. Not too hot, not too cold. Have you guys do a pool poll, huh? I don't know, maybe. I think ultimately it's got to be my choice. But I think putting the pool back in it from its current state is probably going to be about $3,000, depending on whether I have to replace the posts or not. Definitely got to replace the liner. Definitely got to replace the walls. But I think the posts themselves are in pretty good shape. Oh, there goes Gene. Church time. See, that's what I like it when the water gets warm, Yvonne. I'm a wimp. I don't even really like going into the pool if the water temperature is below 86. Yeah, you can always do that. Throw some ice in. I don't know. Yeah, if I do redo the pool, it'll probably be the same size. I do like something about that, but 13,000 gallons of water too. That's an awful lot of water. An in-ground pool would be nice too. I mean, I've got the yard for it, but that'd be more expensive to get set up. But that'd be nice too. One of the things, I wish there was an area in my pool where I could dive, for instance. I'd get a diving board out there and do all that too. I don't know about saltwater. I've heard of people doing that. I mean, I guess it's an alternative to the chemicals. I guess people say it's superior in a lot of ways. I mean, I think salt is a more natural element than bleach or chlorine. Yeah, exactly, John. Morning, Brad. Yeah, I don't know about a pool house. That'd be a little too much. A cabana. Yeah, I don't know about that. Hey, bye. You gonna come up and visit? Huh? Yeah, I have chlorine tabs that I put in the pool. Well, see, and that's something I have to think about too. You're right. I have no intention at this point of ever moving again. I don't have a reason to because it's not like it's gonna like the mortgage is gonna go up. I'm not gonna be able to afford it. The only thing I got to worry about is property taxes. And in Texas, there's a very strong movement afoot to keep property taxes low, or at least as low as possible. They're still pretty high, but that's all I have to worry about. And I got a good job, so that's no reason to move at this point. Hey, Roberta, long time. So we get to the point where it's time to sell the house. That'll be the responsibility of the state holder. Yeah, a few years I can start collecting Social Security, but I'm not really to the point where I'm really seriously thinking about that. No decision on either of them at this point. The pool is still on hold. We've actually been talking a lot about that. And I'm still going to kind of hold off, see what happens on that, about whether we you know do the pool or do the trees. I haven't decided which it's going to be, but that's all in flux, and I'm even open to being persuaded. We kind of shifted the discussion a little bit earlier in the live stream, based on an idea from somebody here. And so who knows? As for the kitchen, I am where I was a couple weeks ago. There was a couple contractors that came out to look at the house. The first one gave me a kind of a verbal estimate based on what I was expecting it was going to cost, but I never got a written estimate from them. The second one came in with an estimate that was so low that there's got to be something wrong there. And the third one kind of came in, and she wanted to bring in her own cabinet people and remove Home Depot from the equation, but haven't really had a chance to follow up on that. And I don't know if I can decouple her, the installation and the cabinet maker. And if the two come as a pair, then I don't know. We'll have to see. The thing I'm concerned about with that is the cabinets I'm going to get from Home Depot. They're probably made of particle board or something like that, but then they put kind of a vinyl coating on it. It'll keep it looking nice for years and years and years. What this company does, they just have wood cabinets that they painted, and that's a little different. I don't think that holds up as well. I have been thinking about inviting her back and saying, "Hey, I want to at least see a sample of the cabinets, so I can get an idea of what I'm looking at." But I don't know. Nothing going on right now. Yeah, there's voting or early voting here in Texas. I'm usually a day of kind of a person. That's just yeah. That sounds like a good option. I mean, the only thing, like I said, you're right. You have a little bit more flexibility when you're renting, but you're not. The thing is, you're not building any equity. You're just making the landlord rich. How's Flash? Flash is doing well. If you saw the videos recently, she had a little bit of an incident where she ended up on her back a couple times, but that hasn't been a problem since I made the modification. She seems to be staying out of there. No, I really am not really seriously thinking about it, except for the fact that I'm 60 now, and so the age that you can start doing that is getting closer. But at this point, I'm not really looking to. I'm not really seriously thinking about retiring at this point. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a pool that I could dive into. And you're right, I'd do something spectacular with the lighting. I don't know if I'd replace a pool with a slip and slide though. Yeah, you can just roll it up when you're done with it. And the beauty is, my yard kind of is at a slope anyway, so put it from the back of the yard to the front of the yard and just slide all the way out to the street. Waterfall slide. That would be fun. Yeah, see, that's why I'm not really in that much of an interest, that much interest in leaving the country. The world's turning into a scary place. There's a lot of America haters out there. Yeah, me too, Bearcat. There's plenty of great things around here to see and do. I mean, Jordan's making a living doing that. That sounds like a drag, Roberta. Yeah, he's my buddy. It's not a law to do it, but both Bite and Nibble are microchipped. Had that done when they were babies. I don't know. I was talking to Jordan about that, and Jordan said he'd talked to Adam the Woo about his RV, and Adam hated his RV. If I were going to do it, I guess it'd probably be something where I'd rent one and just use it for a week or two. But I mean, they use up so much gas and all that. It's just I don't know. It's one of the things I like about my little Honda. You get it out on the road, get it into economy mode, you can get 40, 41, 42 miles to the gallon. That gets you a long ways. 41 miles, 42 miles to the gallon. That's 500 miles on a tank full. Exactly, and like I said, I have already, I've spent a long time, really going, when I travel, just kind of going basic on the hotels and stuff like that. When I went to California 2 times and drove there and back, I just stayed in little Motel Sixes or something like that. That's all I needed. But if I'm going to go like to Yellowstone, I may actually stay in a nice hotel in the park, something there. Yeah, I don't know if Bite and Nibble would know what to do if they got outside. It's funny, Nibble's really non-personable, but she's the adventuresome one. If the door's open, she'll be the first one out. Bite will follow her, but he's not a leader. And Bite will be the one to be eating the grass and then coming up and puking on the in the on the floor somewhere. The yellow puke all over the place, or blue green puke all over the place. You're a puke machine. Yeah, it's like a hairball, but it's grosser because it's green. Pukey Cats. That sounds like a band name. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pukey Cats. Right, Bite? Yeah, right. In bare feet. And then it's slippery, so you end up slipping on it. Yeah, I want to look at what the options are for hotels in Yellowstone. It'd be nice not to go, drive 40 miles from the hotel every day, but yeah, I don't doubt that that happens, Yvonne. Yeah, mine's always seem to puke it back up, so they're not really getting the benefit. That's sort of what I'm thinking. I mean, I've worked really hard over the past few months. I'm making some good money. Maybe it is time to just treat myself to something. You're right, Bearcat. I mean, I'm in such a good position. I got a great job, making good money, have enough extra income that I can, splurge on rocks. Well, what I've learned to do in probably the last 15 years, and I credit Disney for this somewhat, is I've learned to live within my means. You know, I actually do have a credit card now. I got one because when I tried to rent a van to come back from California with after my mom's funeral, you know, I was having problems doing it because I didn't have a credit card. So I have one now, and actually, what my brother-in-law recommends is, my initial thought is I was only going to use it for emergencies, and he says no, use it all the time. Just pay it off at the end of every month, and you'll get the benefit of having it, and you'll build up your credit rating, and you won't have to pay any interest. So far, that's what I've done. And what I've actually been doing when I have money for rocks, I put it into a savings account and I'll use the credit card to pay for the rocks and then pay it off at the end of the month with the money I put in the savings. So I'm still living, month to month, or I'm still living within my means. I'm not spending more than I have, but building up my credit rating at the same time. Well, I think one of the things that kind of got going with me is I'm to a point where I'm in life where, I see something that looks interesting. I ask myself, do I really need this though? And sometimes when it comes to the rocks, the answer is yes, absolutely, you need that. But a lot of times it isn't. Yeah, I have maxed out my 401k and doing as much as the company will match, and that's good money, and that's always been a good investment that I've made. My when I was working at the first CD factory, that was the first time I ever worked for a company that had a 401k, and I put money into it, and I've done that always. Even at Disney, when I wasn't making enough money, I still put the maximum amount in the 401k, and it was a good decision. Yeah, the house is definitely appreciated in value. It's probably worth 20% more than when I bought it, maybe more than that even. I don't know. Today maybe would be, although maybe tomorrow is going to be a better day or later in the week because we're supposed to get some rain, especially on Wednesday. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Yvonne. And being in my situation here, is really nice. Really makes it a lot easier to, you know, enjoy life a little bit if you don't have a mortgage or rent every month. That is such a huge thing here. Somebody sent me a message. What's going on here? If this is an alert, I'm going to be very upset. Oh, really? Come on, man. The app that controls my ability to view pictures decided that it was going to create a little music video from some of my recent pictures. And what they did is they grabbed some images I shot of like screens at work, capturing data and stuff like that. So it's showing me this slideshow of like production reports and stuff like that. I mean, come on, Android, what are you thinking? going to go and probably, because I mean, why in the world does my picture gallery even feel the need to send me alerts? Hey, we came up with an idea. Let's look at some status reports at work and put some pretty music behind it. Give me a break. Dumbest thing ever. Yeah, I like having Darth around here. He's got as weird of a mind as I do. I have a feeling if we ever met, we'd get along famously. Because the truth is, I actually toned it down a little bit for live streams. You never knew who's watching. I tried doing a meetup once in America here, and nobody came. I don't know. I'm maybe not big enough to get enough people. There's at best, assuming that if every one of my 5,400 subscribers would consider visiting me if they lived in the area. You know, in reality, that's a big world. You know, Jordan's big enough that he can do that. Because there'll be 20 or 30 people that'll show up because he's got how many tens of hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I got 5,000. I mean, how many people in here right now would be able to come to Waco for a meetup? I noticed Jordan doesn't do them very much anymore. I don't really follow Adam anymore. But once again, Adam and Jordan are both bigger than I am. If you're tempted to do it, you should absolutely do it, Yvonne. Yeah, well, I haven't heard of Jordan doing one in a long time. And like I said, I don't follow Adam that much. I mean, if I thought people would come down, I'd show you around town. You show you some of the fun things. We could give you a whirlwind tour of Waco. We'd go to the silos. We'd go to Dr. Pepper Museum. We'd go to the Waco Suspension Bridge. We do. I'd show you some fun things. Now, in this case, I'd probably have you meet me at the city hall, right at the end of Austin Street. Well, you'd be a lot of fun to have here then, Yvonne. It's probably true, Yvonne. Once your parole is cleared. Yeah, I think you mentioned that. That's a good place to check out. But you have to tell me what you think of the burger place, Brad. I think I replied to you when you mentioned figuring out where the Elvis place was. That there was another place that you'd want to maybe think about too if you spent some time. If you drive through I-35 through Waco, right when you come into town on the right side, if you're coming in from Dallas, and you'll see a big goofy building with a crazy mural on the side of it. I've eaten at that place. That place is pretty good too. In fact, last time Jordan was here, he says, "Take me to a burger place," and I says, "Okay, we're going to Twisted Root," and he liked that place too. It'd be fun to meet Rhonda, and the girls, and with a side of onion rings. Yeah, oh, yeah, I love a good side of onion rings. Last time I was down by the lake was overflowing. And in fact, I heard they opened up the dam and released some water. There was so much water in it. Yeah, I did do polls in the past, didn't I? I suggested I should do one about the pool poll. I think that's one of those I got to decide for myself, though. Well, I guess I pulled it, put in my 2 hours here. So I think we're going to pull the plug on this one here. I'm going to continue on with my day, figure out whatever that means. So I had a good time today, everyone. Thanks for spending a couple hours with me. I'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.